everyone. Welcome back to Astrology of Scholars. Today we're exploring Sagittarius rising, and this is our final rising sign in the series. If this is your rising sign, you're about to understand why you always see the bright side, even when everyone else sees disaster. You know that feeling when you're convinced everything will work out, even when you have no plan? That's Sagittarius rising. Let's dive into this optimistic, adventurous energy. So, Sagittarius rising. Your approach to life is, tomorrow everything will be better. My opinion is correct. When Sagittarius is rising at the moment of birth, this person has an adventurous, enthusiastic, positive, confident, philosophical approach to life. You appear self-assured, knowing the truth, cheerful, but sometimes this appearance can become hollow on the inside and inflated on the outside. Here's what this looks like. You promise more than you have. You commit to more than you can deliver. You see yourself as above others. You show a patronizing generosity in stretching your leg according to your blanket. For Sagittarius rising, life is like a fun road trip in a convertible sports car. You wave cheerfully at everyone around. You're an optimist. You believe everything will work out. But here's the problem. If you go to extremes with your optimism, postponing today's work to tomorrow, believing that everything will fix itself tomorrow, you waste your life. Let me give you a real example. Imagine you have a big project due next week. It's important. Your job might depend on it. But it's Monday and the sun is shining. Your friend calls, "Want to go on a road trip this weekend?" Most people would say, "I can't. I have this project." But you? "Sure, I'll figure out the project later. It'll be fine. I work best under pressure anyway." So you go on the trip. You have a blast. Sunday night comes, you haven't even started. Monday morning, you're scrambling, the work is half done, and you've let people down. But even then, you're thinking, well, next time will be different. That's Sagittarius rising at its worst. Other Sagittarius approaches that create problems. A complacent, expectant attitude, waiting for others to do your work, believing only you know the truth, prejudice, and arrogance. Sagittarius is the principle of opening to different horizons, expansion, spreading. Since the rising is our door opening to life, Sagittarius here should approach the world from a wide angle, open to every color and sound in a tolerant way. Also, Sagittarius is related to nature's laws, the universe's workings, philosophies, and principles. You must develop principles or a belief system to organize your life by observing and experiencing the mechanisms in nature, in different cultures, and the universe's workings. Here's a beautiful example of healthy Sagittarius rising. You're watching a documentary about a baby monkey. While watching the mother care for her baby, you suddenly understand something profound about the nature of motherhood. You apply this to your own life. Maybe you call your mother, or you approach your own parenting differently. That's Sagittarius rising, learning from the universe. On the other hand, when living among people with completely opposite beliefs, you can see that their belief systems work just fine too. In fact, you might even adopt some of their system. This experience gives Sagittarius rising great tolerance. When you don't do this, you can have fanatical attitudes, believing only your system is right, judging those who don't do the right thing, being prejudiced. Therefore, Sagittarius rising must turn their life journey into a tourist trip that provides the opportunity to experience different perspectives. Let me show you what this looks like. Imagine you grew up in a very religious household with strict rules. Most people would either blindly follow those rules forever or completely reject them. But healthy Sagittarius rising, you travel. You meet people from different cultures, different religions, different ways of life. You realize that all these different systems work for different people. You keep the wisdom from your upbringing that serves you, you add wisdom from other cultures, and you create your own philosophy. You don't judge, you understand. That's the gift of Sagittarius rising. The symbol of Sagittarius is an arrow aimed upward. This indicates a potential aimed at the future and the higher. We can think of this as immediately seeing opportunities, hoping the future will be better, believing in something more sublime and ideal. On the shadow side, these approaches can be seen as opportunism, not seeing what's right under your nose, losing the connection between excessive idealism and the real situation, or forgetting the here and now while looking at the bigger plan. Here's an example of the shadow. You have a partner who loves you, who's here now, who needs your attention today, but you're always talking about your big dreams, your future plans, the amazing life you'll have someday. When I make it big, we'll travel the world. When I finish this degree, everything will be perfect. Meanwhile, your partner feels invisible. They need you present now, not in some imaginary perfect future. That's Sagittarius rising missing what's right in front of them. Your positive traits are tolerant, forward-seeing, sensible, idealistic, independent, moral, and sophisticated. You have this personal style that's worldly and wise. But your negative traits? You can be fanatical, tactless, exaggerated, sanctimonious, judgmental, prejudiced. You're so sure you know the truth that you stop listening. You're so focused on the horizon that you trip over what's at your feet. Now, let me give you 3 practical tips if you're Sagittarius rising. Tip number 1. Balance your optimism with action. Yes, believe things will work out, but also do the work. Make a rule. For every big dream you talk about, take one concrete action toward it today, not tomorrow. Today. Your optimism is a gift, but it only works when paired with effort. Tip number 2, practice beginner's mind with different belief systems. You love learning about different philosophies and cultures, that's beautiful, but don't just learn about them to add to your own knowledge. Really try to understand why that system works for those people. Listen more than you teach. Ask questions more than you make statements. You don't have to agree with everyone, but you should understand them. Tip number 3, notice what's in front of you before looking at the horizon. This week, practice presence. Before you start planning your next adventure or talking about future possibilities, take 5 minutes to really see what's happening right now. Who's in front of you? What do they need? What's actually on your plate today? The future is important, but if you miss every present moment, you'll never actually get there. Your lesson, Sagittarius rising, is to be optimistic without being reckless, to be philosophical without being preachy, to see the big picture while handling the details, to believe in truth while staying humble enough to know you might not have all of it. So if you're Sagittarius rising, I want to hear from you. Do you struggle with follow-through? Have you learned to balance optimism with action? What's the most important lesson travel or different cultures have taught you? Share in the comments below. And that's it. We've completed the entire Rising Sign series, all 12 signs. If you've enjoyed this journey through the Ascendants, please give this video a like and subscribe to the channel. Check out the playlist for all the Rising signs and let me know what series you'd like to see next. Thank you so much for being part of this journey, and I'll see you in the next video.